Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje meets the new Police Commissioner of Kano State.
Global News.
And on the foreign scene, Tigray forces accused of expanding war to Sudan border.
This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening. You're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zahra Zanna. Today is the 31st of August, 2022. And now the news in full. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo left Abuja for the United States of America today, seeking global partnerships and support for Nigeria's recently launched energy transition plan. Presidential spokesman Laolu Akande, in a statement, said Osinbajo is leading Nigeria's Energy Transition Implementation Working Group, ETWG, on the U.S. mission, with meetings starting from tomorrow to promote the plan and secure the U.S. government support, the private sector, and other development partners. He said the ETWG, chaired by the Vice President, comprises relevant ministers and other top government officials. Akande said Nigeria's Energy Transition Plan, officially launched last week at a global virtual event, is a homegrown, data-backed, and multi-pronged strategy developed for the attainment of 2060 net zero emissions commitment in 5 critical sectors: power, cooking, oil and gas, transport and industry, adding that Nigeria needs $410 billion to deliver the transition plan by 2060. Akande also said the Vice President is also scheduled to speak on Nigeria's energy transition plan at the Center for Global Development in Washington, D.C. The Vice President will return to Abuja early next week. The federal government has launched 2 tracking platforms to enable citizens monitor project implementation. The platforms are the Presidential Delivery Tracker, PDT, and the Central Delivery Coordinating Unit, CDCU website. Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, unveiled the platforms in Abuja. According to Mustafa, the PDT is a citizen-centered mobile app designed to enable citizens to assess project implementation and results in delivery. He said the platforms introduced in 2019 aim towards the achievement of the 9 priority goals of President Buhari's administration. Boss stated that the CDCU platform has downloadable mobile apps designed to track, review, and periodically report the activities of MDAs, performances of ministers and permanent secretaries, among others, in the delivery of the ministerial mandates assigned to them by Nigerians. He also added that the public website was developed to get updates and feedbacks from citizens regarding public projects. Indigenous airlines under the aegis of Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, have replied the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, over allegations that they converted over 19 billion naira debt they are owing the agency to personal use. Vice President of the AON, Barrister Alan Onyema, in a statement said while some of their members have had bad debts being owed the agency, not all members are owing. The NCAA had on Tuesday threatened to ground airlines over inability of airline operators to remit the statutory ticket sale charge, TSC, cargo sale charge, CSC, and passenger service charge. The TSC and CSC are collected by airlines on behalf of the agencies, including the NCAA, the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, and NAMA, among others. On sports, the Super Eagles head coach, Jose Pesero, has linked up with the home-based Super Eagles team as they step up preparations for their crucial game this weekend in Abuja. Muhammad Sani Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Super Eagles B team are in the race for qualification for next year's African Nations Championship, the CHAN tournament in Algeria, officially led by coach Salisu Yusuf. Ghana's Black Galaxy beat the Super Eagles team 2-0 last weekend in Cape Coast. The team now need 3 unreplied goals to beat their fierce West African rivals to the tickets to Algeria in 2023. Meanwhile, Super Falcons of Nigeria are in the United States of America on a 2-match tour with the United States women's national team, with the first 2 matches is taking place at the Children Messi Park in Kansas City on Saturday. Both teams, who have qualified for next year's FIFA Women's World Cup finals in Australia and New Zealand, will have a go at each other jungler once more at the Audi Field in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, September 6. Coach Randy Waldrum has picked 4 members of Nigeria's under-20 girls, the Super Falconet, that reached the quarterfinals at the just concluded FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica, namely defenders Oluwatosin Demehin and Rafiat Umran, and midfielders Esther Onyenizide and Deborah Abiodun. In another update, Premier League club Everton has opened talks with La Liga side Villarreal FC for Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze. The top fees are looking to bring the Super Eagles forward on loan with an obligation to make the move permanent for 43 million euros. Frank Lampard and Everton are hoping to strengthen their attacking options before the window shut this summer on September 1st. Similarly, Chelsea have signed French centre-back Wesley Fofana from Leicester City on a 7-year deal for 70 million euros. And on tennis, British teenager Emaro Ducanu says he is looking forward to starting with a clean slate after an early end to her US Open title defense last night. Raducanu, aged 19, is set to tumble down the world rankings after losing in the first round to Francis Aliza Cornet. In another development, Rafael Nadal survived an early scare against Australian wildcard Rinky Hijikata as the 4-time winner came back to reach the US Open second round. Mohammed Sanoba, Freedom Radio.
Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has today received the newly appointed Commissioner of Police of the state. Abubakar Lawal, newly appointed Commissioner of Police, was received during the State Executive Council meeting. Abubakar Lawal, who visited the governor for the first time since he assumed duty as Police Commissioner of Kano State, stated that he will do all it takes to ensure the current peace being enjoyed in the state is maintained.
That operationally you have been assisting operational vehicles, and without operational vehicles and other logistics, definitely we cannot do much. And that is why I felt it necessary to re-emphasize on that. And I was told that, you are telling me about this community policy issue that has been on in the state, and you have been spearheading it. That is why exactly we come with some booklets that will assist in propagating the idea and the concept of community policy within the state.
Welcoming the new police commissioner, Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje said he will join hands with the police to ensure peace and stability in the state.
About operational vehicles, yes, we have operational. We need to put more operational vehicles on the ground. And the new officers we are referring to have been completed. All what it requires is for the commission, which you will do in due course. So you are most welcome and God bless.
Correspondent Zahra Zanna reports that the governor also received the newly posted brigade commander of Bakal Barracks, known as well as newly posted comptroller of immigration, Kano State Command. On this day, 31st August 1997, Lady Diana, Princess of Wales, died from the injuries she sustained in a car crash in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris, France. Amina Mukhtar Yakase has more on this.
Dodi fired, Diana's partner and Henry Paul, the driver of Mercedes-Benz S-Class W140, were pronounced dead at the scene. Their bodyguard Trevor Rhys-Jones was severely injured but survived the crash. Some media claimed the erratic behavior of the paparazzi following the car had contributed to the crash. In 1999, a French investigation found that Paul, who lost control of the vehicle at high speed while intoxicated by alcohol and other effects of prescription drugs, was solely responsible for the crash. He was the deputy head of security at the Hotel Ritz and had earlier goaded paparazzi waiting for Diana and fired outside the hotel. Antidepressants and traces of an antipsychotic in his blood may have worsened Paul's inebriation. In 2008, the jury at a British inquest returned a verdict of unlawful killing through grossly negligent driving by Paul and the following paparazzi vehicles. Some media reports claimed Rhys Jones survived because he was wearing a seatbelt, but other investigations revealed that none of the occupants of the car were wearing them. Diana was 36 years old when she died. Her death caused an unprecedented outpouring of public grief in the United Kingdom and worldwide, and her funeral was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people. Amina Mukhtari Akase, Freedom Radio.
On business, Abdulrahman Hamis in Medina has updates.
The Nigerian Communications Commission has said $0.1 as the new fixed international termination rate for voice services fed by overseas telecoms carriers for ending international calls on local networks in Nigeria. The ITR pertains to the cost of bringing call traffic into Nigeria, and it was increased from 0.045 initially presented in December last year as a floor price. The Commission said the new rate, which would take effect September 1st, 2022, was fixed rate for ITR services. According to a document on the determination of mobile voice international termination rate as amended as of August 25th, 2022, which is available on the NCC website, international operators were mandated to pay local operations in dollars. Meanwhile, the federal government has projected an average of 120 trillion naira as consumption expenditure by the Nigerians, on which value-added tax will be charged between 2023 and 2025. This is according to the medium-term expenditure framework and the fiscal strategy paper developed by the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. According to the report, consumption expenditure on which VAT will be charged will likely increase from an average of 35 trillion naira in 2023 to 40 trillion naira in 2024 and 45 trillion naira in 2025, after adjusting for exemptions, zero-rate items, and companies whose turnover falls below 25 million naira threshold. This means that the consumption expenditure in the 3-year period will stand at 120 trillion naira. Abdulrahman Hamis na Medina, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, the Ethiopian government has accused Tigrayan forces of expanding the renewed fighting to different fronts, including along the country's western borders with neighboring Sudan. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi reports.
A statement yesterday said new fronts had opened in the west after Tigrayan offensive in the east around the town of Kobo did not go according to plan. There has not been a response from Tigrayan forces about this allegation. However, a senior Tigrayan official, Getachew Reda, earlier accused Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government of wanting to further initialize the conflict by sending tens of thousands of troops to neighboring Eritrea. The BBC has not independently confirmed either claim, but this is a clear sign that the violence is deepening and expanding after it resurfaced last week, shattering a 5-month truce. Meanwhile, Iran has delivered a peace initiative for ending the Ukraine war proposed by a European leader to Russia, standing next to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov during a news conference in Moscow yesterday. Iran's Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian confirmed that he had handed over the European proposal that he said was given to Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi. He did not name the European leader behind the initiative or reveal any further details, but said the proposal include points on the Zaporizhia nuclear plant and prisoners of war. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zahra Zanna, thank you for listening.
This is Freedom Global News.
Freedom. Pop. Freedom.